It's the last show before we hit the road with the Arizona Cardinals and Bird Gang travel to the Big Easy in New Orleans. We're previewing not just the Cardinal Saints, but what's Kyler Murray going to do in the 2025 season, Johnny?
Plus, we know this is your ride or die Arizona Cardinal podcast, but who are our ride or die Cardinal players for this year? Bo, Noah, and myself, we're going to draft 15 players, our ride or dies. PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. The time is now to like and subscribe. This is the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast, friends. I'm Johnny Venerable. He's Brack. Noah Man behind the mic. Let me just say for a minute, thanks for joining us on this opening NFL Thursday. And we know kickoff's right around the corner. We're here to kick things off for the Arizona Cardinals, Bo.
That's absolutely right. Of course, we're brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code PHNX365. Deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and get $200 in bonus bets. Check it out, Bet365. Never ordinary. Love that. Love that partnership with Bet365. Make sure you're hitting it up as early as an hour from now, less than an hour from now.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. We made it. This is the official kickoff to the 2025 season. No longer are we going to think about what it's going to look like. We're going to get to watch it happen in real time. Michael Lyon saying football's back. Bo Dirt, football is back, baby. Love that. It's unbelievable. Photoshop there. The art of being freed. Mr. Fat Gangster. I'm sure Schaff is in here. T. Cleary, Alec, the entire squad. Bonnie Venerable. Or do you think it's Boney Brockable?
Interesting. I'm going to tell you right now. Where's this comment? I lost it. Anyway, somebody said something effective. I just don't want to be depressed or sad this weekend. And I'm like, brother, you know this franchise? You know what this franchise does? They give us smiles on our faces. That's what they do. How about this from Michael, Saints fan here? No Chase Young for us this weekend. Calf strain. You hate to see it. But we soldier on. Sorry about that. But that's a tough loss. I hadn't heard that. They said they're officially ruling him out. That's interesting.
It's not great news for him.
Yeah,
certainly not. And Michael, welcome. We are absolutely previewing this game, getting into it, and that plays a role in it. Cardinals had a surprise addition to their injury report that we'll talk about here later. But yeah, the Young news came down yesterday. Nick Underhill, who covers the team so well down there in the Bayou, and had he left practice, and then today just was a DNP. And despite what Jordan Schultz is saying, I'm sure that's, representation, having a glass half full approach. But we as Cardinals fans, as people who cover this team, understand calf injuries. They're not ones that just kind of go away in a matter of hours that like Chase Young suffered, less than 24 hours ago. And then, of course, getting them ready for Sunday, that becomes a really uphill climb. And hopefully he can just get back at some point, early this season and isn't lose too much time.
Yeah, I haven't seen him officially being ruled out, but again, you don't practice like back-to-back days. They've added I think a ex-Bronco from the practice squad to the active roster. So I feel like everything with regard to what you're saying from like Jordan Schultz is correct. Like this isn't a long-term injury, but if he doesn't practice tomorrow, like he's not gonna play Sunday. Like officially.
Yeah.
Like you're not playing Sunday. Plus, like it's also a long season. And if you're a team like New Orleans, who people don't think are going to be very good, it's like, can you really be in a position to like, hey, we're going to burn Chase Young 70% against the Cardinals at home Sunday? I think this is trending toward him definitely not playing. And that's a huge break for the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, which is how we're going to kick things off today. we thought, Saturday in New Orleans, no show tomorrow. Saturday in New Orleans is going to be our official preview show, which is going to be unbelievable on Bourbon Street. Cardinal fans, 150 plus with our friends at Bird Gang Travel. We're typically not live on Thursday, but because tomorrow's a travel day, we are. And I thought, Bo, this is really going to be the last time that we have a clean slate prior to the season with Kyler Murray. And is this going to be the last time? Or is it hopefully one of many years to come? And so we wanted to basically have a conversation. What is our expectations for him this year? We're going to each give our own statistical breakdown preview. I haven't seen Bo's. He hasn't seen mine. And we're just going to put it all out there with the franchise quarterback who, again, like if he's healthy, is a above average franchise quarterback. But the questions I think are coming externally. Has he hit a ceiling? People like Colin Cowherd putting the Cardinals fourth in the division, even though they have probably the best quarterback situation in terms of like Stafford's old, Darnold's on his fifth team, Brock Purdy's a seventh rounder. This kid was first overall. Yeah. Theoretically, this should be it. You should be in the peak prime era. And then yet you've got people nationally, not only Cowherd, but others thinking that the Cardinals are a last place team.
Yeah, because I think they had a ton of misconceptions about, who Kyler was, who he is now, and also what Kyler, what type of hand he was dealt to start his career. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals in 2018, to go way back, it was one of the worst constructed rosters in the NFL. So they had a lot of work to get done in 2019, the offseason that they took Kyler Murray first overall. Kyler Murray did not come into an ideal situation. Quickly, they churned the roster and they added some playmakers. But with those playmakers, what did we know about the former GM? He didn't invest in the trenches offensively, defensively. Kyler Murray was never truly put in a situation for success. Sure, he came out of the gates hot and he had, close to full strength to the start of that season in 2021. And they go 7-0 and he's got 20 total touchdowns over that stretch and unbelievable performance after unbelievable performance. And then since then, 2022, you saw the deterioration of the roster. And then you saw, Kyler Murray's deep ball kind of exit. We haven't seen it really come back. But now, with the JG era starting in 2023, bringing in Petzing and Monti Ossenfort, getting his fingerprints all over this roster, investing in the offensive line, taking 6th overall Paris Johnson Jr., taking Isaiah Adams, finding guys who are starting caliber offensive linemen, and finding playmakers that fit the scheme. I think Kyler Murray, from a playmaking, I guess maybe a player personnel roster standpoint, the infrastructure seems to be all there. I think some people will question, is the play calling there? It's something we felt confident about, going into this situation. But I think Kyler, for the first time really in his career, and I know people are going to roll their eyes at some point going into year 7, is really in a favorable situation.
Yeah, he's efficient. He was efficient last year. The QBR was top 10 in the NFL. But I think we've gone as far as, it's crazy to suggest this, but Kyler Murray was an analytical darling last year, right? He rarely turned the ball over. His completion percentage was almost 70%. And that's still, even when you hit all those metrics that a lot of people roll their eyes at, you still have a ceiling, right? And the ceiling was last year the big play. And to me, whether it's running the football, which he told us on our set in April that he was going to do more of this year, play action, the deep pass, you have to find a way to have more explosives. You cannot be an offense. I mean, it's crazy to say this, but you can't be an offense like, Shanahan and company have done in years prior unless you have a roster support that. And as much as I am, hopeful with this Cardinal team this year, the Cardinals don't have San Francisco's roster from a couple of years ago when you can just delegate to playmakers and lean on a defense and have the best run game in the NFL and the best left tackle. You have to be able to manufacture more than that. And we saw last year, there'd be Sundays where everything looked great. The Jets game, the Bears game, right? The finale against San Francisco, albeit against a bad team with 4 touchdowns. In games when it mattered, in games where, and they all mattered to some degree, but in games against winning teams, where are the crooked numbers? Where are the gaudy stats? Where are the fourth quarter comebacks? Those are going to be the things that inevitably dictate whether or not this fan base, the segment that's against him re-embraces him. And more importantly, the Ossenfort and Gannon say beyond 2025, like, this is our guy. We've seen enough. We're going to commit to him long-term, because until you get that, you're always going to have to question the ceiling.
Yeah. Look, I mean, efficient offenses are awesome. Like, you love it. You love the idea that you're getting the ball in the hands of the guy that is open and can make a play.
Right.
And a stout run game is everything that football lore is based on. Playing smash mouth football, establish the run the ball, have a good offensive line, and being able to kind of move the ball down the field. That's great.
Right.
Nothing puts a defense on its heels more so than an explosive play in the passing game. There's nothing that puts a defense more in disarray than you chucking the ball down the field and connecting on a big play, because then it's everything's all, fire drill downfield, and the opposing defense is trying to collect itself on the fly, and nothing beats that. And you were deprived of it. You didn't have it in the offense last year. You had it in the run game, and that helps. That certainly helps. But you just didn't have it. And I think everybody understands that. The assignment was clear as day this offseason, that they needed to be a vocal point of their offense. They needed to take their lottery ticket as far as Marvin Harrison Jr., 4th overall with 3 quarterbacks going ahead of him, the first playmaker, or I guess non-QB off the draft board in a historically good draft at that position. You got to cash that and say that this guy is who we think he is, who he can be, give him an opportunity to do that. And in order to do that, is you need to connect him with Kyler Murray's arm strength, his arm talent. And that needs to be part of this, needs to be consistently throughout the narrative of the 2025 season.
Listen, your NFL tenure, it's not a fair reality. Like, it's not fair that Kyler Murray was drafted in a division with Shanahan and McVay and Pete Carroll, and he had Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury. He could have had Andy Reid, right? He could have had Matt LaFleur. That's an unfortunate set of circumstances. He's not in a division that you can win perennially with 9 wins against bad teams like the AFC and the NFC South. You can go through mini rebuilds if you're Houston or Tampa and become viable overnight. Like, this division is so rich, not only with talent, but with talented head coach and executives. And to overcome that, you have to be a special player at quarterback. You just do. Like, the Cardinals, unless they're hitting on 90+% of their draft picks and making all the right moves in free agency, they have to have more from Kyler Murray. And is this the year? Let's go to our statistical breakdowns, Bo, our previews for Kyler Murray. I'm going to defer to you, my co-host here. What are your thoughts on the season Kyler Murray is about to embark on?
Well, as we try to forecast it here, we've got Kyler Murray's 2025 projected stats. They're not going to blow you away as far as, where they were last year to where they were, what I expect them to be this upcoming season. Last year, let's kind of put that in place so you can kind of know where this is coming from. He passed for 68.8%, nearly 69%, as Johnny said, 3,851 passing yards, 21 touchdown passes. 4 of those came in the finale against San Francisco, 11 picks. And then as far as running the football, he rushed for over 500 yards on the ground with 5 touchdowns, 572 and 5 touchdowns. I've got Kyler just eclipsing 4,000 yards passing. So I've got 4,050 passing yards, and I've got 28 passing touchdowns. So we're seeing an uptick of 7 passing touchdowns. I think that comes in the form of Trey McBride being more of a red zone threat. I like, what you see from, Elijah Higgins going into year 3, Zay Jones being a big part of the offense now, bigger bodied guy. I think they're set up for success throwing the ball in the red zone. I think that's how he can kind of see an uptick there. And of course, Marv, could he get double digits? That certainly helps get to this number. The 4,050 passing yards, Johnny, that's at like 235 passing yards a game.
Yeah.
So that's not much. I mean, what he threw for last year was like 226 per game. I got the picks being right around the ballpark where Kyler's been, most of his career. I mean, Kyler threw 11 picks last year. He threw, his last full season, he threw 10, 12, 12. So I think he does a good job taking care of the football. Completion percentage, just a tick down. And that's kind of wishful thinking that he's going to be taking more shots. So you see a little bit of a decline as far as the completion percentage. And then we have this clip, Noah, that Johnny alluded to, where he caught up with 2 unknown broadcasters at an unknown location. We don't have that. Okay. Basically, Kyler Murray said he was going to run the football more in 2025 because he says he understands it's such a weapon. I see him going up over 100 more yards than last season, about 120 more. So 690 overall, just under 700 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns.
I can't even digest this because it's so comparable to mine. So I can't even push back on anything. Let's take a look. It's my statistics because I like Bo's, because I like my own. Let's see them, Noah. I'm a little bit more bullish on the passing yards. And this is just out of sheer will and desire to see them rip it more this year. I think if he gets 28 touchdowns, that's a hell of a season for Kyler Murray, his career high is 26. I think he ties that this year. 4,100 yards passing. He had about 38 and some change last year. And there were games where they just stopped throwing in the second half because they didn't need to. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. 10 interceptions mirrors your 11. I think completion percentage can go down a little bit. You had it at 68. He was 69 last year. Hell, let's go to 67 if it means more big plays, if it means an opportunity to stretch the field. And then again, our rush yards are almost identical. We're identical on rushing touchdowns. I've got him at 32 total touchdowns this year, which again would be a hell of a season. And I've got him at roughly 4,700 yards. I mean, this would be a great year for Kyler Murray. Again, a lot of it is predicated on when these statistics are coming, when these metrics come in games. But I'm not going to argue. Like if he has 5 touchdowns, throws it back to 2021 this Sunday at New Orleans, like I'm not going to complain about that. For Kyler Murray, though, let's take some more risks. Let's not be risk averse. Last year, it felt like we were risk averse. And again, trust your quarterback if you're Drew Petzing. Right. Allow him to make a play for you. We look back at last year's offense, fear not to Drew, and I don't want to turn this into an anti-Drew segment. The plays we think about in the passing game that we remember fondly, specifically the Rams game, those are broken plays. Those are plays where Kyler Murray chose to be special. How about the play where he scrambled out from Jared Verse, made like 3 men miss, and then threw that touchdown to Higgy Bear? Last year, the plays we remember fondly in the passing game were not schemed up by the offensive coordinator. That's right, Claymore Jones. If it leads to a couple more turnovers, figure it out. It's not going to bother me. But I hate going into NFL Sundays knowing my team over the last 2 years is risk averse, throwing the football downfield. Like the Cardinals, and again, this is their media relations, Twitter team, social media. They do a great job. They tweeted out a video before we went on air, and Bo, you sent it to me, and it's Kyler Murray throwing a bomb to Marvin Harrison Jr. And the caption was, "Can't wait to see this on Sundays." And I responded to Bo's text, and I was like, is this on air? Because we have not seen that yet. We have not seen. Isn't that crazy? They're about to play like their 18th game together. We have not seen a play action deep ball touchdown organically within the confines of the offense from MHJ and Kyler Murray. Like the broken play last year was Kyler Murray scrambling out of the pocket and Marv kind of breaking free, but just like, hey, you're the X receiver, play action, we're going to bomb it to you. That hasn't happened yet. It has to happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's strict criteria. Like, I mean, as far as what you need to happen.
I don't think so.
It's not asking too much either. Like, yeah, you've got it. Probably every quarterback, wide receiver duo, they've got that. But in like as far as the off schedule stuff, right? I mean, the off schedule that you're talking about, there's also rules within the offense that they play in as far as off schedule. He's not just, he's playing a little jazz for sure. He's going off the sheet as far as the music goes, but he's still kind of playing within it. I think that as far as like that goes, and we saw him go. You're looking at the corner that Marv roasted in that video, and I think he's probably a scout team guy. That's fine, but we do need to see it. I think people. That's what they romantically think about when the card is put in for Marvin Harrison Jr. to become an Arizona Cardinal. It's what we saw with Larry Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner in that historic playoff run to the Super Bowl. We saw the deep ball. It felt like every other play. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald's just coming down, at an absurd level and catching touchdowns and big explosives in the pass game. And we just were, like I said, deprived of that last year. Yeah. It wasn't there. So it needs to return. And I think if you see an uptick, like I think my numbers for Kyler are a product of most of it Marvin Harrison Jr. year 2 supplementing that.
Mine as well. Forcing the football to Marv, letting put Marv in position to make a play in space. Like I think, do we see the return of like MHJ, the yak player, MHJ broken tackle, MHJ accelerating, taking a slant or a bubble screen or a post route and housing it? That was not available last year, whether it's on the receiver, the quarterback, the play caller, or all three. Like that is a big byproduct of taking a receiver 4th overall in the top 10. Yeah. It's like those guys historically can do that. And so I think go ahead.
I think as far as that goes, because, we talked to Marv at his locker yesterday and, he's talking about how, they're motioning him a little bit. He's moving around pre-snap. They're moving him around quite a bit. I think they took that off his plate last year, and it might make people upset, but they didn't want to overload him. And then also the first-year player, with like, what do we hear from Kyler? What do we hear from Marv himself? What do we hear from the coaches? Like, the game was moving really fast for Marvin Harrison Jr. What happens like when you're, crossing routes, slants, you're catching bubble screens, smoke screens, whatever it may be, you're kind of in the middle of a lot of traffic. And maybe they just didn't think, okay, this is not something we want to do. I'm not trying to make it that is the excuse, but it's just trying to get an understanding of it. And I'm hopeful that he's just full go now. Like 6'4", 220 pounds of playmaking ability. Go out and utilize them.
We've got some breaking news I want to get to right around the corner here on PHNX Cardinals, and it involves an opposing team in the Cardinals division. Plus, we're going to talk about where the Cardinals sit, injury related. That's coming up. It's PHNX. Man, so fired up.
By the way, I'm not going to look at my Twitter.
Yeah, I think it's something we predicted, but it's something I want to discuss. I also want to discuss our friends at Zen Leaf Dispensary because, man, oh, man, they're doing great work. Whether you're gearing up for game day, you're winding down after a long hike, or just trying to recover from another brutal, Diamondbacks loss. No Cardinal losses here. Do you with Zen Leaf dispensaries. Zen Leaf is your go-to spot for cannabis, flowers, vapes, edibles, and more, all from the brands that you trust. With locations across the valley, Chandler, Gilbert, North Phoenix, and more, it's easy to swing by before kickoff and just get hooked up with maybe a express pickup post-workout and get guys, check this out. Use the bonus code ZEN, ZEN, PHNX for 50% off. Again, 50% off your entire first order. Hook it up right now with our friends at Zen PHNX is the bonus code. Zen Leaf, they're doing great stuff. We always get asked all the time, what's the best dispensary? What's the best cannabis provider? I just want to dip my toe in. This is the perfect spot. Again, don't forget, use the bonus code. Get whatever you need. Zen PHNX for 50% off this one-time first purchase. Again, Zen Leaf, great weed, great service every single time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we're hosting like kind of a open house with all of our partners here. I'm sure Zen Leaf is out there. Can't wait to go thank them for joining us. Also want to thank our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass. Always such gracious hosts, like our Hangout Fest last week where we did a live show. We did a Q&A with our diehards out there, and we did our fantasy football draft. Just unbelievable spot. Of course, they achieve legendary status, and they help you do so as well, where you can do you at just about the highest level. At Gila Resorts and Casinos, AAA 4-diamond resorts, relaxation, take charge, but also those competitive gaming tables. Yeah, go get down there and win some money. Check out the sports book. Nobody does it better in the Valley. Nobody does it better in the West than Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Go check out all their locations, Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, Vequiva, Santan Mountain. Experience the best that the Valley has to offer. And also join us for our watch parties this NFL season. Not this week, but all road games. We're going to be hanging out there. That's going to be our PHNX Cardinals headquarters. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathgila.com for more details.
Everybody hammer that like button. We need it here on a Thursday night football little podcast. We got 200 plus watching live. We appreciate all of you. This is a one-off. We're usually live on a Football Friday. We are not. Manana will be en route to New Orleans. A little bit of breaking news here that I think, listen, we don't grave dance on this show all that often. However, cue it up, Noah, man. A surprise addition to the 49ers injury report. Oh, goodness. Canceled the Super Bowl parade. Nick Wagoner of ESPN. 49ers participation report on Thursday includes a new addition. Christian McCaffrey's got a calf and was limited. He didn't have his usual Thursday media session. It's never been more over. You should feel embarrassed if you are one of these fraud reporters that are putting this team on a pedestal. We haven't even reached the opener. McCaffrey's hurt already. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. The team that everybody thinks is going to rally this year with no good players and an old Christian McCaffrey. Like, guys, turn your brain on. Christian McCaffrey has not played a game. He has not participated that I've seen in the preseason. We had it on good intel from people we trust from joint practice with the Denver Broncos. The Niners were an embarrassment at joint practice the week before. They got destroyed. And then they got destroyed in the preseason game. Like, I'm not going to say that the Niners aren't going to win some games this year, but let's cut the BS here. McCaffrey's already hurt, guys. It's over. Get ready to learn Brian Robinson Jr.
And I guess give him some credit for going out there and get Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, he's not even close to the same, running back caliber running a Christian McCaffrey, maybe the status quo or similar to what you got from Jordan Mason, which wasn't, I mean, he was fine. He just wasn't, what they need from Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
And, shame on them for trying to put all those eggs back in that basket because they've spoiled. When you're going overseas and you're looking for cutting edge tactics to help with your Achilles, and you're a 29-year-old running back, which is the age that traditionally production falls off. Shame on the organization for trying to say, hey, we're going to turn back the clock. 23 McCaffrey is going to be back, and we're going to be back. Like, look at the 6-11 record last year as a fluke. We're more so the team we were the previous season. That's not how the NFL works.
No.
You usually have to move on from players like that. You have to realize you have to read the writing on the wall, and they just haven't done a good job in doing so. And for whatever reason, people were a little bit behind. Like, overall, I would say the consensus were behind it. But I don't feel like we were at all. I mean, I think you see that and you see the erosion and you say, you're diagnosing it. You're the auto mechanic and you're saying, this car ain't going to be running in a couple days.
Ayuk gone. Debo gone. McCaffrey hurt. I mean, like, there are people out there that are, like, I checked, ESPN put out, like, their Super Bowl predictions, and they gave out about 30 analysts or production people's, like, opinion. Cardinals were not represented. Seahawks were not represented. There were a couple people who thought the Rams could get to the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl. There were a couple analysts that had the Niners in the NFC Championship game. It's just like, are you a moron? Do you not watch? That just tells me you don't watch the game. Well, turn the game on. Right. They were an embarrassment last year. They won one game in the division. The Cardinals boat raced them at the end of the year. They didn't add a bunch of good players. They subtracted a bunch. Dre Greenlaw, gone. Ufunga, gone. Chadarius Ward, gone. No Armstead. No DeForest Buckner. Those guys are gone. Javon Kinlaw, gone. Michael Williams, who we loved during the draft process, hasn't practiced, has been hurt. To me, the sooner that the Niners season is over, the sooner that I can get on with my life. I need their life to be over, their season to be done. I need these teams like the Giants and the Browns and the Titans, who don't know any better, to get their act together and start hanging L's on them. Because here's what we know about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is not immune to disaster seasons. Right. Where you could be effing around and picking in the top 10. You're paying Brock Purdy $60 million, and Christian McCaffrey at 29, as Bo outlined, has a hamstring before the open. A hamstring for a running back at 29 that just popped up. See ya. Goodbye.
Calf. It's calf.
Excuse me, calf.
Which was the issue last year.
Right. Goodbye. Does he make it through the season? Does he retire mid-season? People are saying it.
Through the season. He's not even going to make it to the season. It's unbelievable. I mean, look, are we overreacting to him showing up limited? But for them to shut down, to shut down his media availability. You can't talk. You can't even talk about it. It's just things you love to see. And, obviously you're not rooting for injuries or anything like that. But as far as, people that finally opening their eyes to how down the 49ers could be. There was one season, was it 21 where they started like 3-5 and they were able to come back, or was it 22 that happened? Regardless, they were in a tough spot and then they were able to turn around. But most of the time, like when they're down, they'll flatline. They're not like Sean McVay and the Rams where you can't really definitively like count them out until like the final whistle blows on their season. But like usually it's like they're ready, they're primed to make a run, and they'll find themselves in the conference championship game, or they'll be under 500. And I mean, they were at one point like 5-4, and then the wheels fell off. Does it happen earlier here? Do they cash in their chips? You got to start to question, like, does John Lynch have the ability without Adam Peters and his collection of scouts and guys behind the scenes to build a roster like he once did? Yeah, I think the question is probably not.
I think like with their schedule, I think like the 7 wins, like I think is obtainable for them. But like all these people that are talking about winning the NFC West, like get out of here with that. Please stop. The Cardinals should be able to show up to Santa Clara in week 3 and run the football 40 times and win that game. Like Brock Purdy was atrocious last year against Nick Rallis with no players in that game last year in San Francisco. Right. He was atrocious. And that was with Debo, and that was with Kittle. Was Ayuk healthy at the time? Like they had all their players, all their good players off a team that just went to the Super Bowl. So good luck to San Francisco. Bo,
Ayuk had 147 in that game.
Who did?
Ayuk had 147 yards in that game, in that loss.
See ya.
Yeah.
It's like the people like, well, he'll be back week 6. The hell he will. If he comes back this year, he'll be going through the motions and he'll be healthy for 2026. We're playing 2025 football though. I don't know if anybody told the Niners actual players. I mean, like if I were them, they would never do this. But if the season starts to go awry, like you trade George Kittle, but this shows you how like delusional they are.
Oh, it is. Yeah. If James Conner got a cold in training camp, people are like, can't trust James Conner, 30 years old. Like everything tells you in the NFL, you can't rely on old running backs. Christian McCaffrey, 29, like coming off, he went to Germany. They were injecting, like embryos into his. I think he's going to be good. I think he's back. And it's like, but what about the tape that we saw from last year where he's clearly, half to full step behind?
He looks slow at training camp. Niner guys are like, yeah, he's working his way back. No, he's slow and old now. Remember what happened to Todd Gurley used to take this franchise's soul with Sean McVay. And then he got hurt. And then everybody's like, okay, he's done. Can't play anymore. And he's like, he's also, by the way, I think Todd Gurley's like younger than McCaffrey. Re-signing Kyle Juszczyk because they're just like, whatever, here's some money, Kyle. Oh, you're a fullback in your 30s, whatever. I'm so over this team. I can't wait for their narrative to be done so we can get to real football. And speaking of real football, Bo, you have the actual injury report for a team playing this weekend. Arizona Cardinals with a new addition, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Not out there practicing today. Defensive lineman Dante Stills. He was not available. DNP with a heel injury. So we'll try to figure out what his status is. Jonathan Gannon will speak with us tomorrow morning, right before practice, and we'll get an update on Stills. Is it something that's going to keep him from not playing? This is somebody very familiar with Rallis's defense, and I think if you were to miss a practice, but be at the very least minimum on Friday, give him a chance for the game. And then Owen Papa was somebody that showed up, must have had a quad in Wednesday's practice or suffered a quad at the end of today's practice. But outside of that, Gaines is back to being full. He gives you depth in the interior offensive line. And I think we're going to see Will Hernandez here be limited, potentially for the entire season as he works his way back from the ACL tear back in last October.
Yeah, we talked about Chase Young earlier. Dante Stills, you would assume, Bo, if he doesn't practice tomorrow, maybe he's out with a heel, which, I mean, What's a heel injury? Like I don't the severity of heel
Your
injuries.
heel hurts.
Yeah,
Limits what
okay.
you do.
Gotcha. I'm not abreast on
heel. It's on your foot, Johnny, and
Tell me more.
it's on the back of your foot, and it's just a couple inches from your ankle.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I'm learning new things every day. So we will assess this on Saturday's preview show. Should the Cardinals need to elevate a certain nose tackle from the University of Tennessee on Sunday? But Cardinals relatively healthy, no excuses. Chase Young, is he the Saints' best defensive player? He's in the argument, and it looks like he's trending toward not playing. We're going to play a fun game around the corner. We're going to draft our 2025 ride or dies. Bo, Noah, and I are going to go, I think, 5 rounds apiece, and break down our ride or dies on the Arizona Cardinals roster. Who we riding with? Who are you riding with? It's PHNX Cardinals. So fired up now after that McCaffrey news. I just need to go over to Circle K and just start ripping it, baby, via the meal deal matrix. We're talking about eating good right here in the chat. We're eating good with our friends at Circle K, baby. How about this? If anybody's thinking, like, what do I need to do to get ready for a football Sunday? Well, you go over to Circle K and you spend minimal moolah. $3 meal deal, hot dog or tornado, which is electric. Select your selection of Frito-Lay's chips of your choosing. A Polar Pop up to 44 ounces is $3 out the door. You're in, you're out, you're done. I'm going to tell you right now, my kids' hot lunch at school is more than that. What world are we living in? But Circle K is like, we've got you, Venerable family and beyond. How about the $4 meal deal? Circle K breakfast Sammy, a hash brown, and a Bang energy drink. Bang, pow, Ghosts, T4, medium iced coffee. How about a meal deal matrix of 2 slices of premium Circle K za, as big as your head, $5 with a 44-ounce Polar Pop? I mean, that sounds great. I'm about to tap into that right after the show. Speaking of that, join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details, Bo.
Love that. Hitting Circle K before we hit the airport tomorrow to fly out. Join our friends over at Bird Gang Travel. And also, I'm going to make sure that my money's right for going on a little bit of a trip. And I never have to think twice with Mountain America Credit Union. Of course, they've got the My Style, Your Lifestyle checking account, which you're going to earn perks. We're traveling, but you can add travel perks to that rotation. It's unreal. You get restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, so much more. Make My Style your lifestyle. Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply today. That's macu.com/mystyle to apply. Memberships required based on eligibility, but also does not require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Make sure to tap into the My Style checking account, your lifestyle, over at Mountain America Credit Union. Start to get perks from your checking account. macu.com/mystyle to apply.
We're eating good here on a football Thursday. Hammer that like button. We got kickoff here in just 12 minutes away. So we thought we'd play a fun game. Usually we reserve mock drafts for draft season. We don't typically do a lot of drafting on this show, but we're taking a cue from our friends over in Denver at DNVR, and we're going ride or die. Bo, Johnny, and Noah. Noah, let's see the slate there. So we're each going to go with 5 players draft style. Traditional, Bo, Johnny, and Noah are going to go one at a time here. We're going to go one at a time. I'm going to defer to one of my 2 peers on this show, and then we're just, what do you call it? I'm spacing on the terminology here of how we're going to draft.
Snake?
Snake draft.
Yeah.
It's not auction, it's snake draft, and we're going to go 5 rounds here.
Let's go. We'll just go from right to left here on this board. I want to give the newcomer, Noah, I want to give him 1-1 here. I want to give him the pick of the draft of the Arizona Cardinals. Noah, who is in your first season as premier Cardinals podcast producer? Who's going to be your guy?
My main guy is going to be guard Isaiah Adams.
Wow.
I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. He looked incredible in camp. He is just an animal out there. You could tell his energy was just ungodly almost. Yeah. He was just tearing people up. I predicted that he could be an all-pro level guard. Whether that happens this year or not is we shall see. But I think he's going to be a menace out there, and he will be one of the best improvements this season for this team.
So the rules of this draft are as follows, though. If he makes a big impact block, completely erases somebody on the Saints defense come Sunday, if Johnny goes and cheers, look at 74, Isaiah Adams, we get to strike him down and say, hey, that's Noah's guy.
That's not how. That's
you
not
don't
how
go
this
cheering
works at
for
all.
Noah's guy. That's the
No.
rules of this draft.
No,
like
Either follow him or get out.
You can pull up this list and you can smug mug if you're on the right side of history the following week and say, look at my guys versus your guys. And we'll look at it every couple of weeks. But we're not like, I'm allowed to cheer for Isaiah Adams, smart ass. Come on.
No. I'm going to go chalk because I'm a chalk boy. And you guys can make your jokes like Petsing's my guy or Clayton Tune.
Yeah, Petsing's your pick, I heard.
Jokes on you. Clayton Tune's not on the roster anymore. I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to be my guy. He's my first round pick as my guy this year.
That is.
Do I need to say anything why?
You're the chalkiest of chalk. You've had the first overall pick back-to-back years in our fantasy football draft. That's fine. I am going to still root for Marv despite you having him as a part of your ride or die. No issue with that. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to allow the franchise quarterback to fall to the second round. I'm going to tell you that right now. Kyler Murray is my ride or die. I sat on set with him in April. We joked around. He looked at me and he had seen some video of me spouting off at the mouth on YouTube saying, Johnny, I heard you want to bring in some other quarterbacks this offseason. I love that for my quarterback. We had a chance to connect with him. If this is the last year I get to root for him as my franchise quarterback, I want to remember it fondly. I'm going to go Kyler Murray as my ride or die. I believe in him. I believe in what he stands for, and I believe that he is going to open up a can of whoop ass on this division this year. Now or never. Let's go, K1.
I like that. I do like that. I think it's a fair point. We can't let quarterback slide into the second round.
Yeah.
Now, as the rules state, we are in a snake draft. Johnny gets the first pick of the second round. Wow, look at Noah.
I love that. Absolutely love to see that. I'll tell you what else I love to see. The elites fall to your boy. And while Kyler Murray is in his 7th year, let's go with a newborn baby like producer Noah. Let's get somebody a little green in the ears, and let's go for the Cardinals' best shot at Defensive Rookie of the Year. Will Johnson is my pick here. A top round 2, Agent Zero, Sub-Zero, whatever you want to call him. Will Johnson is headed to JV's draft. Suck it, nerd.
Wow. I love the pick. I think you reached for Will Johnson. I really do. Because, man,
we had Isaiah Adams going the first round.
I can't even get to the podium fast enough. No, are you shocked by that? Him going Will Johnson that early? Who took Isaiah Adams 1-1?
I would have probably taken him in the 3rd round.
Well, I am just filled with glee that I get to tap into my actual guy. Probably some would call us friends.
No,
Trey
we're friends.
McBride.
No,
my guy, number 2. Welcome to the roster. I've already won this thing. I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna hold you guys too. Is you can't root for my guy. So
no,
you
stop saying that. That's not a thing.
Trey
We do
McBride.
the show every day. That's not
They're
a thing.
my guys.
Trey defense. Defense.
I'm the most elite. I'm the maid of honor as far as McBride's maids. That's me because Trey McBride's my guy. Noah, you're on the clock.
I'm going to go with my hometown guy since one of them was already snatched up by Johnny there. But I'm going to go with my second hometown guy and Darius Robinson.
Ooh,
I think
I like that.
A monster out there this year. And I think his sack numbers are going to be far above what people think coming from that position.
All right. I like that. I do like that. Now we'll snake back around and Noah is back on the clock.
Let's see. With that pick, I'm going to go with a bit of an underrated guy here.
Ooh,
somebody that I think can have a special year. He wasn't really talked about a whole lot during camp, but I'm expecting big things from him this year. I think he's going to be solid. I don't know if he's going to be like the star of the defense or anything, and I'm going to stick with defense here. I'm going to go Max Melton.
Okay.
Max Melton. I like that.
Wow.
See, Noah's really getting the the idea of the My Guy draft. While I kind of just continue to front run and take the top playmakers.
Yeah.
And some would say, Bo, are you just going to take James Conner? And I'm going to say, yeah, I'm just going to take James Conner as my third pick in the My Guy draft.
I like it. Again, there are no wrong answers here. They're all Cardinals, except for my team is the best. So, Bo, just to recap, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner, and then Noah's got Isaiah Adams, Darius Robinson, Max Melton. Noah is going exclusive 2024 draft, which I like that approach. Again, a lot of meat and potatoes in that draft. So as we enter or exit round 3, I have a list of several players here. I'm going to go chalk, and I'm going to go one Buda Baker, and I'm going to stick to the defensive side of the football. And then I'm going to turn right back around and atop the 4th round, give me Paris Johnson Jr. for the Arizona Cardinals. So I like blue chippers.
Yeah.
Sue me.
I love it. Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be my next pick. You sniped him right before me, and I think you forced my hand.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I got to get this guy on my team.
Okay.
My guy. And I can't let Johnny get his grubby, greasy fingers all over him because he has no reason to have him as his guy. You know who I'm going to take?
I do.
Tip Ryman. Give me Tip Ryman as my guy right now. Tip Ryman. I mean, Paris Johnson Jr. is saying that the offensive linemen want to be like Tip. They want to have the same tape as Tip.
I'm embarrassed for
Tip
you.
Ryman he's the epitome of my guy. When he goes out there and just wipes out some defensive back or small linebacker in the C gap, you say, that's my guy. That's my guy, Tip.
Yeah, good luck. He can be your guy. You can draft him all you want. I think Tip's more an undrafted free agent territory.
Bees says it about as well as anybody else could. I'm speaking for the chat's collective soul as far as taking Tip Ryman in the 4th round of this draft.
Fun fact, Bo's a big fan of the band Collective Soul, so that tracks. Next up, I need to scrub that pick from my brain here. Tip Ryman over some of the marquee players left available. That is disappointing. Noah, man, save us from that selection.
All right, I can't help myself here. There's just way too many defensive guys that I like here, and I'm gonna go with somebody that probably slipped because he's hurt right now. Let's go with our blue chipper this year, Walter Nolan.
Could age well depending on when he comes back.
That's gonna be tough. You can't root for your guy for a minimum 4 weeks, but look,
you can root for him on the practice field.
You've got one more draft pick, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I got one more, and I'll break my little stretch of defensive guys here, and I'm gonna go with somebody that I think people have a lot of question marks with, depending on how we're running the offense this year. I'm gonna go with wide receiver 2, Michael Wilson.
All right, Papa.
Yes,
new dad. Big congrats to Michael Wilson, who was a big part of this show, year 1 and year 2 of his career. Nothing but big time congratulations to him and his beautiful wife and their new bundle of joy. Michael Wilson welcoming his first child. He's going to be the best dad. He's a great player. He's going to be an even better dad. We're pumped about it. That's a great pick, Noah.
Thank you.
All right, Bo, your last pick of the draft.
Oh man, this is there's a lot of guys left, but I think I've got to really kind of bring it home with kind of feeling the pulse of the chat fan base. Somebody you're gonna want to kind of with pride say that's my guy, Mac Wilson Sr.
Okay, maybe the guy I think that has an opportunity to reach a national stage for the first time in his career. When you start to look at the numbers he puts up, I like that pick. I don't like it as much as my pick, and I think there are 2 names left that stand out because I have the last pick right here of the entire draft, don't I, Noah?
Yeah,
this is it. So I'm debating between 2 guys. I think the offense, for the most part, with all due respect to the Froholts of the world and the Trey Bensons, I think the offense is good and done. It's picked over. I'm looking on the defensive side, and I'm debating between another corner and the marquee addition in free agency. And it's not a shot at Garrett Williams, but I'm going to turn my attention to my Prius with my friend Sweaty J and the boys. Josh Sweat, the last pick of this draft, the individual that I think is going to lead this team in sacks, caps off a banner draft for your boy. I went defensive heavy because guess what, friends? This is going to be a defensive team here in 2025. It's going to be Kyler Murray and this defense and a pass protection from Paris Johnson Jr. So that's it. That's our ride or die draft. How about it? What do you think, Bo?
I think it's great. You feel bad for those who didn't hear their name called here on this fateful day, like the Jordan Birches, like some of the guys you were mentioning that they are absolutely fan favorites. You got a Yelda Froholt, as I saw in the chat. There's those special teams guys who are all heart, but I think for the most part we got it right, especially myself.
Well, your draft started out so strong and then cratered with your fourth round selection. I mean, just like if you had taken Garrett Williams in the fourth round, I think I'd have to defer to you as having the best draft. But it's just that one pick. It's the equivalent of like a Brendan Rice on day 3 of the draft. It brings down the grade. So I think
I went Drew Petzing. I needed to be able to run 12 personnel with my guys. Yeah. And so I took Tip.
I think Noah's draft has the best chance to pop this year. You're talking about everybody but Michael Wilson is in the first or second year of their career. And those 3 individuals that you started out with, Noah, all having a chance in year 2 first of all, they're all starters and they all have an opportunity to enter the national stage. I think the biggest omission, we're going to post this online in the Discord, Garrett Williams, people are going to be upset. Is there anybody else, Bo, that you think we missed that was blatantly obvious? Maybe like a Calais.
Yeah, Calais, absolutely. I think like when you're thinking about my guys, you got like Rabbit Taylor Demerson, who I was able to catch up with. You can see that interview coming tomorrow. There's so many likable guys in this locker room. You feel like you missed a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That was our My Guys draft. We are going to revisit that over the course of this season. Kickoff happening right now on Thursday Night Football. Drop a like on this video. We're back in a minute. Man, oh man, just roughly 3 days away from our first NFL Sunday for the Cardinals of 2025. And again, as the calendar turns, make sure you turn your attention to cooler weather with our friends at All Pro Shades Concepts. I was outside right now. I'm like, is it starting to get a little nicer outside? Can I breathe a little bit? Well, I have an All Pro Shades Concept awning, so I can tell you right now that helps a lot. Reduces your patio up to 20 degrees cooler, hundreds of durable colors and fabrics to choose from. You can do manual, motorized. I love both. Again, they've got sealed track, cable shades. They've got drop-down shades. They've got stuff for the winter. Do yourself a favor. Go with the company that was voted #1 by Arizona Patio Shades in 2024. BBB A+ rating with over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Give them a call today, 623-204-1476. That's 623-204-1476. Visit allproshadesconcepts.com to schedule your free estimate today.
I love that. I'm actually going over to my friend's house later today to watch the game. He's got his All Pro Shades that I was talking about. I always bring it up in that read, and it's you're not invited. And we're going to hang out and cook some meat on the grill and watch some football. It's going to be elite. Thanks to All Pro Shade Concepts making that possible at this stage in the summer. Game Time makes it possible to go to any event that you want to go to, whether it's a concert, whether it's a game, a sporting event, stand-up comedy, or if you're just looking for a parking pass. Game Time's got it all for you, all in one app. Download it today. Game Time, you can check it out, gametime.co, and you can download the app. Use the promo code PHNX. You're going to save even more money than the money you're saving compared to all those other ticketing apps. Use the code PHNX. Get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. You want to go see the Cardinals take on the Carolina Panthers a week from Sunday, State Farm Stadium? Get in the door. I believe I saw tickets as low as $40 with Game Time. You can ride it out until late next week. You can ride it out until kickoff. Do whatever you want. Game Time is the place to do it, though. Download the app today. Use the promo code PHNX and get $20 off your first order. What time is it? Game Time.
Kickoff happening now, but I want to remind everybody, Cardinals kickoff in 3 days. And how are the Cardinals going to fare? Earlier this week, ESPN, a couple different writers predicted the Cardinals to make the playoffs and win a playoff game. What about our frenemy of the program, Bill Barnwell, who put this out, Bo, on ESPN? his official prediction is that the Cardinals also get in the playoffs this year, albeit a wild card berth. Here it is. His pick, one of the last playoff spots. In fact, the last one, the Cardinals, who made massive upgrades on the defensive side of the ball with Jonathan Gannon, get to the postseason. He has the Cardinals getting to the playoffs. I think he had, unfortunately, the Niners winning the division, which is a joke, but no LA Rams and no Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs, basically attesting to if the defense can improve to league average, the offense should be able to do enough to push Arizona into the postseason for the second time since 2016. Cardinals and Bears and Lions are the three wild card teams, while the Eagles, Niners, Falcons, and Packers win their division, Bo.
Yeah, no, it's interesting when you read his breakdown, especially of how they get it done, right? He says, as you mentioned, can they be league average? That would be just an improvement over last year where they were kind of just outside of the middle of the pack as far as most metrics go. And then he follows as far as ranks 10th in EPA per play with Kyler Murray and Drew Petzing as the play caller quarterback combo. Like that's good. That's looking at the numbers and the analytics, and they're going to tell you that story, but also realizes, look, Marvin Harrison Jr., as Barnwell put it, had a muted rookie season. If Harrison can get going in year two, their offense can make a leap. He understands that there is, even though they have decent numbers overall, that there is a lack as far as that passing game goes. And if they can do that with the improvement on defense, man, I think Bill Barnwell is one of the few guys from a national standpoint that gets it.
Yeah, the Cardinals, the infrastructure is there, the coaching is there, the continuity is there, and the schedule is there. And it all kicks off this weekend. I want to remind everybody, we're going to have full coverage, wall-to-wall, via New Orleans. So no show tomorrow, travel day. Have probably some content dropping here on YouTube. Then myself, Noah, Bo, we're going to be live on Bourbon Street from New Orleans on Saturday. Special start time, 3:30 Arizona time. So when I ask, while you're watching college football, ASU, U of A, flip on the old YouTube. We're going to be live. We're going to have our definitive breakdown. We're going to be hanging out with everybody in New Orleans. If you're in New Orleans, come find us, right? Shoot us a DM. We'd love to hook up, get a drink, have some fun. And then, of course, the return of PHNX Cardinals on game day, Bo.
Yes.
Pre-halftime post. We're going to be tapping in with our guys, Espo, Shane, and Damon Dog via watch along. Damon's also going to be part of our pre and post game. It is the time of year for PHNX Cardinals, and we can't wait to spend it with all of you.
I can already tell you, Damon is probably beside himself, furious. All right, we have our first Big Dom look. Big Dom, he gets the spotlight because he had to escort Jalen Carter off the field after getting ejected, Johnny, for spitting on Dak Prescott. Nice start for Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, who everybody told us the Cardinals had to draft because he was a good dude. Maybe not a good dude. Again, I'll take Paris Johnson Jr. That's unfortunate. What would be unfortunate if you chose not to like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. We've made it. We've made it, friends. We are entering enemy territory this weekend. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody, especially our friends at Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Absolutely. Anytime you make a super chat here, it gets donated right to our friends over at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Check them out right now, BeBigNow.org. All proceeds go to Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We're celebrating them all month long. So you're so generous, and you always are with your super chats. Now your super chats go to a great cause. It's no longer lining the fat pockets of Johnny Venerable. Now they go to those in need. It's a great cause. So check it out.
I've never seen a dime of the super chat.
He hasn't. I'd say that all just making a joke. But BeBigNow.org. We'd love to see it. And for those still hanging out, not tuned out for the game, make sure you hit like on this video. It does wonders for us. Let's get up past 100. Let's gear towards 250, 300 as we've got the travel day tomorrow. We've got interviews coming tomorrow, too. As I mentioned, Rabbit Taylor Demerson, Xavier Weaver, two exciting second-year players. I was able to catch up with them in the locker room. Check that out tomorrow. Plus, we got some other content hitting the YouTube channel, which is about to hit 44K. You could be the 44,000 subscriber. Just got to subscribe to make it happen.
For Noah, Bo, I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you in the Big Easy this weekend for Cards at Saints. Take care.
We all silly like the mayor.